Seniors, please be seated. Welcome to Saddlebrook Preparatory's 2024 graduation ceremony. We are all very happy that you are here to join us tonight to celebrate this momentous milestone with our senior student athletes. Let me first introduce our guests on stage with me this evening. Mr. Greg Greeley, our guest speaker. Mr. Pat Farrell, Vice President of Saddlebrook International Sports. Ms. Pam Willoughby, Director of Curriculum. I would also like to recognize our special guests in attendance tonight. So Mr. Mark Hershey, Director of Golf. Mr. Chris May, Sports Performance Director. Mr. Sean McQuillan, Director of Tennis. Mr. Rick Crockett, Tennis Academy Director. Mr. Alvaro Ventacor, Tennis Academy Director of Coaching. And Ms. Kiana Sautel, Residential Life Manager. We appreciate you joining us on this special evening. I would also like to introduce our school staff, seated to my left. Staff, if you could please rise for a moment for recognition when I say your name. Ms. Jenna Campbell, high school English teacher. Ms. Latricia Carson, high school math teacher. Ms. Frances Cotto, high school foreign language or Spanish teacher. Ms. Natalie Edgman, high school science teacher. Dr. Aaron Robison, high school history teacher. Mr. Neftali Villanueva, high school math teacher. In the audience, I also have some parents that I would like to recognize. Our parents of graduates, which are also our staff. Ms. Merritt Dunn, high school English teacher and parent of a graduate. Mr. Patrick Dunn, middle school teacher and parent of a graduate. Ms. Katrina Keys, school operations manager and parent of a graduate. Mr. Chris Rosinki, college planning advisor. You're gonna see him stopping a lot of pictures. He's also our high school electives teacher. And Ms. Nona Wall, admissions and tournament manager. The graduating class of 2024 is a very special group of young adults. This class is comprised of 17 students from 11 different countries that have overcome worldwide challenges and seen a vast amount of change throughout the 4 years that they have been in high school. These changes turned us all on our heads. They impacted their education, Were they taking online classes, participating in Zoom classes, or by chance, did their classes meet in person with many protocols in place for their safety? Remember taking temperatures? Remember wellness checks? Remember wearing masks and sanitizing everything, okay? Changes also affected their ability to play and practice the sport that they loved, but thank goodness their sport was outside. But they had to be 3 feet apart, not wearing a mask, and able to breathe fresh air. Lastly, these changes significantly affected their families and their home countries. We had travel restrictions, sickness, isolation, vaccination, and recovery. This caused additional anxiety and stress to their lives as well as to their parents. That's a great deal to think about when you're only 14 years old and starting high school. However, the class of 2024 looked to the classes before them to light the way. They developed friendships, made connections through sharing a passion for and dedication to their chosen sport. They formed close bonds in and out of school that will last them a lifetime. These bonds have also helped them cope with and survive through the last 4 years. When you first visit Saddlebrook, you might think, oh, they're a small school. They don't have a lot of kids, or their facility needs some improvements. All of that may be true, but I often ask families when they first visit to look beyond those few things and see the wonderful opportunities, events, and activities that are happening on our campus and in our sports programs. Our families have made true sacrifices to provide their child or children with the opportunity to attend Saddlebrook Prep and the sports academies. You made the choice to allow your child to develop their talents, pursue their aspirations, athletic or academic, and to follow their hopes and dreams. With that being said, I want to personally thank all of the parents and families in attendance and those that could not be here for allowing Saddlebrook Prep School and the Sports Academy staff the opportunity to work with, mentor, and guide your children. There is no greater responsibility than mentoring a child, and we appreciate each of the decisions you have made to place your child's development in our hands and under our care. Now let's recognize the senior class. I will have them stand when I say their names. All right, valedictorian, Yo-Yo Bai. She is a golfer from Saratoga, California. Yo-Yo is an honors graduate, member of National Honor Society, member of Student Council, and a Spartan ambassador. She is attending the University of California, Davis, in Davis, California, and playing on the women's golf team. Co-salutatorian Tim Eckerman. He is a tennis player from Munich, Germany. Tim is an honors graduate, president of National Honor Society, member of Student Council, and a Spartan ambassador. Tim is attending Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology in Terre Haute, Indiana, and is playing on the men's tennis team. Co-salutatorian Diego Sosa Rodriguez. He is a tennis player from Tegucigalpa, no, I did not say it right. Tegucigalpa, did I say it better? Okay. Honduras. Diego is an honors graduate, member of National Honor Society, member of Student Council, and a Spartan ambassador. He is attending Colby College in Waterville, Maine, and is playing on the men's tennis team. Thank you. Russell Bagley. He is a tennis player from Avery, Wisconsin. Russell is an Eagle Scout, honors graduate, member of Student Council, and a Spartan ambassador. He is attending University of Wisconsin, Eau Claire, in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Maximilian Brenner. He is a tennis player from St. Gallen, Switzerland. He will be returning to Switzerland to complete his military responsibilities in service. Gabrielle Bradell. She is a tennis player from Montreal, Canada. Gabrielle is an honors graduate. She is attending the College of New Jersey in Ewing, New Jersey, and playing on the women's tennis team. Miran Huvenich. He is an academic-only graduate from Istanbul, Turkey. He is attending Flagler College in St. Augustine, Florida. Ethan Keys. He is a golfer from Wesley Chapel, Florida. Ethan is an honors graduate, president of Student Council, member of National Honor Society, and a Spartan ambassador. He is attending Jacksonville State University in Jacksonville, Alabama, and playing on the men's golf team. Mia Lamb. She is an academic-only graduate from Lima, Peru. Mia will be traveling to Italy to pursue modeling and entrepreneurship training. Maya Mikulski. Maya is a tennis player from Colorado Springs, Colorado. She is an honors graduate, member of National Honor Society, and a Spartan ambassador. She is attending the United States Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and playing on the women's tennis team. Daniela Moses. She is an academic-only graduate from Nairobi, Kenya. She is currently planning on attending St. Petersburg College in St. Petersburg, Florida. Jisoo Oh. She is a tennis player from Singapore. Jisoo is an honors graduate, vice president of Student Council, member of National Honor Society, and a Spartan ambassador. She is attending the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, and playing on the women's tennis team. Anthony Osipov. He is a tennis player from Chicago, Illinois. Anthony is an honors graduate. He is attending the Citadel, the military college of South Carolina in Charleston, South Carolina, and playing on the men's tennis team. Charlie Robin. He is a tennis player from Huntsville, Alabama. Charlie is an honors graduate. He is attending Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee, and playing on the men's tennis team. Angeliki Thomas. She's an academic-only graduate from Brooksville, Florida. Angeliki is an honors graduate and member of National Honor Society. She is attending Pasco Hernando State College in Brooksville, Florida. Makai Witter. He is a tennis player from Smiths, Bermuda. Makai is attending Lynn University in Boca Raton, Florida. Isaac Wolf. He is a tennis player from Stockholm, Sweden. He is attending Tusculum University in Greensville, Tennessee, and playing on the men's tennis team. Now, I would like to turn things over to Mr. Pat Farrell as he will introduce our guest speaker for the evening.
Our guest speaker tonight, and I'd like to say congratulations to our graduating class of 2024. You did it. Our guest speaker this evening has a very storied history here at Saddlebrook. Many of you probably know Mr. Reilly from his times here and as a resident, but he is a graduate of Notre Dame University with a bachelor's degree, and then he followed with his law degree from the University of Southern California. Never quite figured that out, what you do in fall and college football season, but that's a story for another day. Greg currently is the founder and CEO of Reilly Hospitality Consulting, and in his other business in life endeavors or professional endeavors, he was the president and CEO of the Resort Hospitality Association, followed by a number of years here at Saddlebrook in a varying amount of capacities, including executive vice president, president of Saddlebrook Sports for 11 years, legal counsel, and most importantly, he and his wife Diane are proud parents of 3 Saddlebrook graduates. So the span has been long and very successful. So it is my honor and pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Greg Reilly.
Garrett, faculty, parents. Special shout out to Alvaro and Rick Crockett. But above all, I'd like to thank the graduating class of 2024 for the opportunity and honor to address you on the occasion of your commencement ceremony. I feel like I've come full circle, as Pat was mentioning. Yes, I did work in the sports program here for a long time. In fact, back in 1992, a long time ago, I date myself, Mr. Dempsey, the owner of Saddlebrook, asked me if I could put together a new school. It was for the athletes of the Harry Hopman Tennis Academy back in those days, we called it. The problem was I only had 2 months to put the school together. And Rick and Alvaro know about all of this. The other problem was I'd never done anything like this, putting a school together, and I was still in my early mid-30s. No problem, I thought, yeah, this should be easy. Well, it wasn't easy at all, but it came to be one of the most fulfilling things that I ever did in my life. That was the beginning of Saddlebrook Preparatory School. A year or so later, we added the Arnold Palmer Golf Academy. What started as a 2-month job ended up being an 11-year job. I tell you this story as an example of how you graduates should address the challenges of life. You will be met with challenges, and there will not always be a roadmap to tell you how to get to where you need to go to solve those challenges. You just need to get to work. Inspiration usually comes during work rather than before it. One of the great things about being associated with Saddlebrook Prep is that we get to rub shoulders with so many champions. Back in the early 90s and 90s, there was a number of places crawling with famous tennis players and golfers, and the school was able to, students at the school were able to spend time with them and see what it was like to become a champion. Now, each one of you came here to become a champion in your own right, in golf or tennis or in your academic pursuits. And I feel passionately about the quality of the Saddlebrook Prep education and the experience of being here. I have the proud privilege of being social media friends with about 300 former graduates of Saddlebrook Prep over all these years. And I take gratification at seeing the accomplishments of all these young people. Sure, there are former students who have made their careers in professional tennis and APT and WTA, people like Andy Roddick and Marty Fish and Jennifer Capriati and Mike Russell, and golfers like Keegan Bradley, Paul Marti, and Young Ah Yang. But there are amazing success stories of Saddlebrook Prep graduates who have gone on to impressive achievements outside of tennis and golf, in the media, in law, in architecture, diplomacy, sports management, business, and too many other pursuits to mention here. I have no doubt that you graduates of the class of 2024 will go on to do the same great kinds of things. Why can I be so confident? It is because you have trained as champions here, and to be champions in your life, to take on challenges. It is because you have trained and competed and faced failure, and you have failed at times. Everyone has who competes. And you will face failure again, but to conquer fear of failure is the source of wisdom. Failure seldom stops you. It's fear of failure that will stop you. But you have become strong enough through the challenges you have faced here in your sports and in your academic lives to have the perseverance to overcome the challenges that you will undoubtedly face. Another great thing about Saddlebrook Prep is the lifelong relationships that you've built with one another, friends from all over the world. I know this from the experiences of my own 3 children. Further proof of that is that the graduates of the class of 1999 have put together a 25-year reunion. Where? Bangkok, Thailand. So I urge you to stay connected with your friends here and that you've met here at Saddlebrook, and the faculty and the coaches in particular. And I want to leave you with the following admission. admonition. I think the purpose of life is to be useful, to be responsible, to be honorable, to be compassionate. That is, to matter, to count, to stand for something, to have made a difference that you have lived at all. This is your commencement. Why do they call this a commencement? It's because you're commencing the rest of your lives here today. So go forth, class of 24, achieve and be kind. Thank you.
We truly appreciate you being available this evening for us and our graduating seniors. Next, I would like to welcome our valedictorian, Ms. Yo-Yo Bai, to the stage to present her speech to the class of 2024.
Thank you, Ms. Garrett, and thank you everybody for being here today. Golf is like drawing with a Sharpie. You start with a blank slate, and no one can predict the end result. But if you make a mistake, there's no going back. You can choose to either give up after making a mistake, or you can leave it in the past and finish with the next best possible outcome. You can choose to either berate yourself for being terrible because you made a mistake, or you can choose to learn from the mistake and try again. When you really think about it, golf and art share a lot of similarities. For me, my passion for these two activities are core aspects of my being. However, for the longest time, my relationship with them couldn't be more different. I've spent countless hours drawing, and throughout all this time, across many years, I've always been unwaveringly confident in my skill. For me, once I have a plan in my head, I'll dive into a painting or drawing head first, without any fear or hesitation. I think about what I want the outcome to be, but it isn't my focus. Instead, I'm focused on the current brushstroke, or the shape I'm creating, or the color that I'm mixing. I'm not scared of making a mistake or making the wrong decision, because those are inevitable. When I make a mistake, I know that I have what it takes to fix it. My point is, art comes easily to me because I practice it all the time, focus on the process, and have an innate confidence in my abilities. Does that sound familiar? Well, golf is a different story entirely. Imagine that you just finished a round in a tournament and you feel pretty good about it. You check the leaderboard, hopefully expecting your name to be hovering around the top, and you think to yourself, how am I 16th out of 24 people right now? I mean, I don't have to imagine because that's happened to me before, but you guys can try to imagine. If you're anything like me, you might start to spiral, wondering how all of that hard work you put into your game didn't result in the success you anticipated, especially after possibly experiencing that disappointment so many times. The truth is, in a sport like golf, where hours of your time are ultimately summed up by one number, your score, it's easy to fall into the mindset that you're worse or you're better than someone. Until recently, golf for me always meant competition and comparison. I used to play golf with the constant fear of failure, constantly comparing myself to others and giving myself so much unnecessary pressure. I used to play golf. For example, I just made a bogey, and I have to make a birdie to catch up to that other person. Golfers, we all know that the moment you put pressure on yourself to make a birdie, you're making a bogey. You can't control your score, it's simply a fact. But what you can control, though, is your process. The realization that while I can't necessarily control every aspect of a round, I can choose my own perspective, marked a turning point in my golf game and in my life. In the past, all my mind would be set on was needing to play well, needing to be recruited, needing to make everybody proud of me, and I lost sight of what actually mattered. Just being in the moment and actually enjoying what I do, and everything else would follow. Whatever it is, just remember that these are the moments that we live for. The goal isn't to become impervious to fear, anxiety, or worry, but to face these feelings with the belief and trust in your abilities. When you view nerve-wracking situations as your building blocks for something greater, you will always have something good to take away, no matter the outcome. My dad always told me to try my best, so that if all else fails, at least I won't feel regretful and can walk away with the satisfaction that I gave it my best effort. I think that's a really important way to view life. True, you can't control the outcome of anything, but you can control your own thoughts and actions in setting yourself up for success. I'm very proud and grateful to be in this position today. But of course, I couldn't have done it with all my teachers and coaches and friends, and supportive administration for playing a part in my life. It truly would not be the same without you all. And thank you to my parents for blessing me with everything that I have and the opportunity to chase my dreams. Golf or tennis, like life, is unpredictable. We don't know if anybody in this room will ever make it big, win any major tournaments, or even end up with a career related to their sport. But I challenge you all to join me and do our very best every step along the way, and always be grateful for the opportunities that we've been given to chase our lofty dreams in this short game of endurance that we call life. And finally, I'd like to leave everybody with a quote from the book, How Champions Think, by Dr. Bob Rotella, a sports psychologist who has worked with athletes from the likes of LeBron James to Pat Riley. The exceptional athletes I've worked with have confirmed my belief that the ideas people choose to have about themselves largely determine the quality of the lives they lead. We can choose to believe in ourselves, and thus to strive, to risk, to persevere, and to achieve. Thank you.
Thank you, Yo-Yo, for such an inspiring speech. I would like to ask our Student Council President, Mr. Ethan Keys, to come to the stage and present his speech to his fellow classmates.
Thank you, Ms. Garrett. Anytime I start a sport, it goes the same. You're bad at it. I played different sports my life, and I can tell you, I started bad at every single one. Whether it was baseball, football, motocross, or now golf. I started at the bottom. One thing about me is, I hate to lose. And when you're bad at something, chances are, you're going to lose a lot. What I've learned from my 4 years at Saddlebrook is how to come back from losses and win. I learned how to get real good from being bad. Getting good from being bad to me means getting real good from the first to practice, the last one to leave always. It means learn how to work hard and have grit, even when things don't go the way you want them to. Starting off with everything most players trying to play at a high level, I figured, if I want to catch him, let's start working. So I did. Getting good at being bad helped me, eventually, and motivated me to be better. Being at Saddlebrook, we got people from all over the world, all different cultures, all different countries. That was a sport, that was a study. Welcome to this one tiny school. We're kind of the best versions of ourselves. Get to know each other real quick. Your peers see the best in you and the worst. Let me just tell you, that's not always fun for your friends to know that every single time you're not good at something. But being bad together, being there for each other, is, I think, how you become great. I'd like to start with a story. My freshman year, I was playing golf with a senior named Niels. We walked into the green of the third hole in the Palmer course, which sadly is not there anymore. I was mad, being something over par, and was complaining about my start. He looked at me and said something I can't be right now. But it went along the lines of, stop focusing on the bad shots, they're in the past now. There's a lot of golf left to be played. It's a lesson I can look back on when I'm struggling, something that helps me. This mentality will help me throughout my life. Because in life, just like in golf, there can be so much more to be played. Just focus not on being bad, but on being better. Each swing, each step you take. I try to pass down what I've learned over my time here at Saddlebrook. Going through the years, I went from being a young kid, I'm like a raging idiot, and not being one of the better in here. I've had the privilege to watch kids like Juan, who used to be full of fire, full of anger on the golf course, become mature and improve. I know it's changing him this past April at a tournament at Michigan El Campeon. He called me after the rounds telling me how bad he felt he played. But instead of focusing on the bad, like you normally would, you focus on what you can do to improve and learn after the round. Seeing him turn this fire into a drive, rather than being mad at himself and against himself for playing bad, something I hope that everyone here today will learn. Being able to make something good of something bad, like Juan, learn how to improve his game after a bad round. I think this shows a mark of greatness. We are made great by the work that we do, the mindset that we have. They said, they don't put championship rings on smooth hands. And that's true. Gotta put in the time, the sweat, and the tears to make it happen. We've also got to remember the people around you to make it all possible. For hard work right alongside you the whole time. I take this time now to thank those who have been there for me, the good and the bad. And I've gotten to where I am academically, athletically, this young man having by my side. Thank you to my good friends such as Corey and Gavin, even this year, far away at college, and to support me and help me through hard times. Thank you to my coaches, Coach Mark, Coach Jan, and especially Coach Mike. The fitness staff with Mike, Chris, and Kiana, and everyone at the school has helped me my journey academically, especially in the spirit. Thank you to my family, my mom. She ain't Jesus, she's a close second. She knows every hair in my hard head. She loved me and supports me without condition. She's done everything for me. Throughout the years, even when I make mistakes, all I had to do was ask, and she's been there for me, no matter what ailed me. My dad has always been there, especially when it comes to sports. Looking back at being a little kid, waiting for Dad to get home so I could ask him to take me to the batting cages, the field, just play catch in the backyard with him. I see now that no matter how dog tired my dad was coming home from work, he was always there to take me to practice, never too busy, always wanted to be there for me. These past years at Saddlebrook, I have learned many things. Learned how to treat myself better, to feel better, become a better version of myself. But I think the most important thing I've learned during my time here is the importance of friendship, family, and experiences. At Saddlebrook, I've been blessed being introduced to so many different cultures, ideas, and experiences. Thank you all for being a part of my journey. In closing, I hope you all get real good at being bad, because it's only by learning from being bad that we can become great. But I also hope we all remember that being good, being bad, or being great all depends on who has your back and the work you want to put in and what's the mindset that you have. It's all about the time, the sweat, and the tears. Make sure to cherish your friendships, honor your family, and seek new experiences. And above all, respect yourself. Congrats to my fellow Saddlebrook 2024 grads. Good luck to you all in your future endeavors. So all move forward in the next phases of our lives. Continue to support each other, help each other, to be better as people. No matter what challenges you have to face in the future, here's the future filled with endless possibility and success for us all.
Thank you, Ethan, for sharing your life lessons with us and for encouraging others to do the same. I know that you've all worked really hard, and one example that I can give is of Ethan. About a month ago, I had to swing by school after dinner on a weekend evening, and there was nobody around. I grabbed what I needed out of my office, came back across, and drove past the Golf Academy and saw that familiar black truck. And just past that, on the putting green, right before sunset, Ethan working hard. I know you all have had those same moments, and I congratulate you. Now for the presentation of diplomas to the class of 2024. You, Yo-Yo Bai. Diego Sosa. Maximilian Brenner. Moran Guvench. Mia Lorena Lamb. Daniela Moses. Anthony Osipov. Angeliki Amelia Thomas. Isaac Wolf. Tim Eckerman. Russell J. Bagley. Gabrielle Rideau. Ethan Keys. Maya Mikowski. Jisoo O. Charlie Robin. Makai Witter.
2024. You've come from many different places and become friends with many different people to become one class. Upon graduating tonight, you will each go out into the world with the support from the people that have prepared you. You are ready to make your mark in college and beyond. We're all very proud of you, each and every one, for what you have accomplished, both academically and athletically over the last 4 years. Now it's time to celebrate, and we look forward to following your many achievements throughout your lifetime. We hope that you will stay in touch and maybe even return in the future, like some of the others in the audience. Finally, I'm truly honored to be part of such a wonderful and caring staff. A staff that has handled every challenge with grace and courage during times when schools and their staff has been asked to take on one more responsibility. You've come together to support our students as well as each other, and for that, I'm very proud and truly grateful. Thank you. So congratulations to our newest graduates of Saddlebrook Preparatory School, the class of 2024. One more time, we'll On behalf of our entire staff, we say thank you. We appreciate all of our guests in attending this evening. Those guests that will be staying for graduation dinner, our dinner will begin around 7 p.m. in the Loom Pavilion. Please check in with Ms. Nona, Ms. Rose, and Ms. Bohannon at the entrance. They will direct you to your tables for the dinner. Now,